Hello, everybody. This is Nik and Adinah Johnson. We hope that you're having a very great day. How are you doing today, honey?
Good.
All right. Well, today's video is going to be about the importance of being specific. Okay. Oftentimes in life, we think about what we would like to have, but we kind of just throw it out there. Might say, hey, I want a house, I want a car, I want a spouse, but we really aren't very specific about it. So this particular video, we're going to go into the importance of being specific and how Adinah was very specific. She's going to share something that she did prior to us actually meeting each other. And I think without me saying any more, I'm going to just kind of turn it over to her so she can speak to it.
And I guess I got the cheeseburger smile on my face because this is very exposing and embarrassing.
Oh, no.
Just a little bit.
This is a safe place.
This is a safe place. There you go. So at the end of 1995, in the beginning of 96-ish, I can't remember exactly when because I didn't write a date on this, but I wrote down everything I wanted God to send me in a mate because I had already graduated from college, from undergrad, and I had started my master's program. I had gone to the university where I was going to do my master's program because at the time I lived in Cocoa, Florida, and I moved away from our actual hometown because I just didn't want to be in our hometown, and I moved away for 7 years, 5 years going to college, and then 2 years on my own, just, doing the light fandango and being an adult. Adulting. So, I say 95, early 96, I'm not sure the date, but the things that I asked God for in a mate, because at that time I just was not interested in dating. I was just tired of dating around. I was dating different people, enjoying my life, being young, single and free.
Hey, can I do one thing before you mention the first thing?
Yeah.
Can you show everybody what you got there in front of you?
Okay, so this is the list, and if you guys can see, single space,
front and back,
everything I asked God for.
So that list in itself is now about 25 years old?
Yeah, it's pretty old. Okay. And that's front and back. This was a different prayer that I wrote in 99. So as I mentioned to you guys earlier that I was forced to clean out one of our bins out of the garage, so I found this list. So I wanted to share it with you guys.
Okay, so thank you. I just want to put some context.
And this is kind of embarrassing because it shows a bit how shallow I was at the time. I mean, I was young though.
Okay.
So the first thing I asked God for was sexy, fine, intelligent, secure. You're going to be embarrassed. Secure, financially stable, in love with me, able to communicate, educated, understanding, tall, able to...
Censored. Keeping it PG.
Okay. Yeah, we won't say that one. But I was, again, remember I was shallow. Okay. Anyway, God gave me everything I asked for. Generous, young but mature, no kids, never been married, able to love me, appreciate me for who and what I am and do, able to stand by me, able to support me mentally and emotionally, nice teeth, able to kiss me and make me feel good about kissing, sensitive but no punk, no wimp, respectful, powerful, secure, faithful, monogamous, able to make, again, censored. I should have read this list before.
It's all right. It's unscripted. That's the only script that we got.
Well, just fill in the blank with your own mind. Okay. Able to express himself in and out of the bedroom. Has a lot to offer. Unselfish. Very loving. Huggable. Attractive. Healthy. Fit. Disease-free. Believes in and practice safe sex. And compassionate, empathetic, able to sweep me off my feet, and friendly. And that's the first front and back page. Now, mind you, after I wrote this list, I prayed about it, put it away, And everybody I met after that, I kind of, in my head, remembered some of the things that I wrote on the list, and I would ask questions according to that. Say, for instance, I would say, do you have kids? When I was dating someone, if they said they had kids, I would say nope, and I wouldn't even talk to them anymore. I would kind of ghost them.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Nick, well, after I finished writing the list, I prayed, and the Holy Spirit spoke to my heart and said, well, if you want that type of person, you have to be that type of person. So at that point, that's when I kind of got serious. I mean, I was always kind of a serious person because, I had finished my education and everything. But that's when I got kind of more in tune with and serious. And, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. And so I've been a proponent of that for a long time. You see, I did this in 95. We met in 96. We met like 11 months later.
Yeah, we did. And I think, and the purpose of that exercise was not to make you appear to be shallow as a youth or a young lady, and definitely by no means to try to toot my own horn, because that's not the case. But the reason why you want to share it is we need to know what we're looking for. Oftentimes we don't know what we want.
Right.
So it's almost like, okay.
And if you don't know what you want, then you can't ask those questions. Like when I was dating somebody, or I would start to talk to somebody, back then, that was in 95, you would get a phone number and call somebody or give them your pager number. You still remember my pager number from back then?
I won't get an area code, but it was 919-1985, I want to say. I think I still know it. 919-1985.
So, yeah.
1895. That's what, 1895.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at that point, I think it's important to know what you want, and be specific. I think it's important, because if you just say, Lord, send me a man.
Or a woman.
You could pretty much get anything. And I know other people that said that, when we talked about this previously to family or friends or, people that we talked to, they were like, well, I wasn't specific. God knows what I want. And that's fine if that's the way you want to do it. I think I'm a little bit more controlling in that respect, where I kind of wanted to know that it was from God.
Yeah. But at the same time, God says he'll give you the desires of your heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can't articulate or know, the desires of your heart, or know what you want, God can reveal it to you. But if you really don't have guidance or understanding around that, how will you know? I think also, to go to that list, as you went through it and you shared it with me, I don't know, it was sometime, I don't exactly remember how far into our dating relationship you shared it.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I didn't have a list. I was like, she got to be pretty. That's my whole list. You talking about you being shallow, pretty.
Yeah,
that's
all
I
it.
wanted, pretty.
That's it.
But I think in that list, you did reveal to me at some point that as you went through it, like,
you met every criteria.
Except for like one
Yeah.
on there for the most part, and it was education.
You met every criteria except you were not educated, at school. You were very knowledgeable. You were very smart. When we first started dating, I would always tell you, you're so smart. Why aren't you in school? And then it just got to the point where I was fine with it, and I was like, okay, he's not educated, by school. He's
formally
not,
educated.
Yeah, formally educated, but he does, he's very important. He's very astute. He reads a lot, and he's just very knowledgeable about a lot of things, because that's what happened when we started talking. And that was the thing, because we met like 11 months later. So we met in like October, and we started talking.
Yeah, we say October.
Yeah, you met October, because we started talking, and then I friend zoned you.
Your mistake.
Because you were easy to talk to, and you were fun. And so then I kind of said, kind of testing him. I go, well, I got to go. I'm talking to my boyfriend. And he's like, boyfriend. So he didn't call me anymore. He just stopped calling me cold turkey.
Yeah, well, go talk to your boyfriend. Ain't no sucker.
He tried to ghost me. So then I paged him again.
1996.
Yeah, I paged him on his pager, and he answers the phone. I wrote about this in my book. But he answers the phone or calls me back like, who is this?
New pager, who this?
Right. And I'm like, not new pager, first of all, because it's the same number and there was no such thing. And if you can remember my phone number today, 23 years later, you knew what number it was.
Maybe. Yeah, but I think to kind of even jump back to the whole statement about the education, I think the thing is that we have to understand that I didn't have it then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have, a bachelor's and a master's degree right now. Now,
Well,
granted,
I didn't finish my statement. I'm sorry to cut you off. So then once we got married, after I was like, okay, God, this is the person you sent me. Even though I wanted the person, I didn't necessarily want marriage. I mean, because I was young. I was 24. You were 21. And then I guess 3 years later, I was like, okay, God, like 2.5 years later, I'm like, okay, this relationship feels great. This is what you've asked me, or this is what I've asked you for. And at that point, we became abstinent like a year in, and then, just not interested in having a physical relationship, because I was like, if this is what you asked me, if you brought me what I asked you for, then I need to follow your word.
Okay, now I won't necessarily say not interested, just did not, because we knew that's what God wanted.
But
we'll be specific, you were farther along in your journey than I was when we met.
My journey of
just your spiritual walk.
Yeah.
You were, and you're just like, what, we need to abstain. I was like, huh? We need what?
Well, I mean, because you were 21, 22, you were very young, and when I asked God for these things, because I grew up in the church, and so I felt in my spirit, in my heart, that if I've asked God for these things and He's provided these things for me, then I need to be upfront and follow His word, and not say, oh, well, thank you for what you gave me, but then I'm going to go over here and do whatever I want to do and not follow your word, because that's not of God.
I had
I'm sorry. I never did talk. I keep going off on a tangent. I'm sorry, guys. So then when we got married, he came to me one day, like in our first year of marriage, and said, guess what? I'm going to school. And I'm like, okay. And I just kind of was like, whatever. Because I was kind of over it, because I asked God for these things. You were not formally educated. And when you protest, because I was working on my master's degree when we met, and you were like, not interested. So after you kind of blew up at me the last time and told me, yes,
come on
it
now,
told me that you made more money than me with 2 degrees, 4 degrees. Yeah, because I had a bachelor's in speech and psychology, and my master's. I got my master's in '99. You were at the graduation in human resources and management. He told me, he says, I make more money than you. So why do I have to go to school?
Oh yeah. Is that a medium-sized petty pants we have on that? Size medium petty pants.
So once you came to me and had this eureka moment that you were going to school, I was like, and what? I don't care, because I was over it.
Yeah, I just came to a realization at that particular point. And please understand that even though this list was important, I just did what I feel like I was supposed to do. And at that particular point, yes, I was doing good as far as the money that I was making. I came to a realization that if I wanted to be able to continue on in the field that I was in, and wanted to, because at that particular time I had not gotten to the computer field yet, and I wanted to get into the computer field, and I really felt like I needed a degree. So I decided to go ahead and get a degree in that area. So that's what I did. And
so you got your bachelor's in information technology and computer programming in 2 years, 8 months, and then you got your master's in about 15 months.
Yep. I always said I wasn't getting paid by the hour, so let's get it over with. So I just hurried up and just went all into it. And
which is what I asked God for, as far as somebody that's motivated and driven. Too.
Yeah. So we got to that particular point. So I can't think of all the bus numbers in which you utilized to throw me under. I can't address them all right now, but you know what? But I think ultimately at the end of the day, I'm thankful because in this relationship, somebody had to know what they needed, and I'm thankful that somebody being you was specific enough to know whom they wanted, so that when I did come in, I was fortunate enough to get what God had for me.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I just wanted somebody who pretty.
So let me read some more of the list. Able to stand by me, loves his mother, and able to cherish his mother.
I do cherish mama.
I know you do, and that's
I love mama.
Yes, thank you.
Don't have me give you the business over mama now.
Well, I wanted somebody that loved their mom and able to cherish their mother, because I felt like if you had a good relationship with your mother, you would have a good relationship with me. Able to support and love me, no violence, no criminal record, drug-free, physically attracted to me, praise, encourage, and compliment me. This letter is all about me.
And I mean, hey, I mean,
You do really good on all of these.
it's up to you. It couldn't be about me. You ain't know me yet. So.
I did not.
Okay.
Ready to give and receive the appropriate love to me. I'm gonna just add. You know how the Chinese, when you get the Chinese fortune cookies, and after you read the fortune cookies, everything is in bed. the game that you play.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this game is going to be to me.
In bed. Oh, to me.
To me.
I got you.
Yeah. Able to demand and achieve respect. Hungry for my love. Fashionable. That one bit me in the tush too. Because Mr. Fashionable.
Oh, man. What do you mean?
Mr. Fashionable, when we started dating, he would get a spot on his shirt. And he would have to come all the way back to his apartment. We had different apartments at the time. He would have to come all the way back to his apartment, go all the way back to his apartment, and change his shirt, re-iron a new shirt, and change it because he had a spot on his shirt.
Hey, you never know. You just got to be clean. There we go.
And that was like so foreign to me. I'm like, it's clean. Let me just put it on.
Yeah. Try to.
Yeah.
Try to be.
So, hungry for my love, fashionable, excited and creative, easy to get along with, willing to work hard for what he wants, knows what he wants. So that's 3. Go on the back. Not afraid to make goals and achieve them. Goal oriented. When do I get to the part where you love God?
Yeah, is it like a job including but not limited to? Is that what's going in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes me feel like I have goosebumps, chills, and butterflies every time I see him. He sees me, smiles every time he thinks of me. An excellent provider, loves children, and is an excellent father. Wants to make beautiful babies with me.
Yeah,
Loves my family. Believes in our family emotionally, physically, and mentally.
Can I say one thing before you keep going?
What?
You said wanting to make beautiful babies with you.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, because originally when we got together, I wasn't interested in kids.
But I wasn't either.
Yeah. But it changed after like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, about 8 years it changed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess 10 years of being together, because about year 8, we had already been together 3 years prior to that. So it was like 11 years.
Then I came to you one day, I was like, hey, can we try? So,
yeah. Is a powerful man. Is a proud, intelligent, successful man. Makes me proud to be his woman. And that's 3 and 4. So
you can keep going on, but
I'm not gonna keep going.
No, I'm just saying you can keep going on. But I think we've probably shown just the importance of being specific and knowing.
Absolutely. So I don't want to keep going, but
yeah. So I think the thing is that if you don't really have an idea, as far as we can keep it in the context of not. We could talk about anything, like say jobs, house, whatever. But most importantly, your spouse. As far as if you don't have a good idea of what you're looking for in a person, you might find yourself settling for anything. And that's why it's extremely important to really have that those goals and those attributes in mind.
Yeah.
As far as who you would like to have in a spouse.
But honestly, I think I've done this with every aspect of our life, because even when we were praying about having kids, I wrote specific attributes that I wanted our kids to have.
Yeah, you want to have a boy first and a girl.
Yeah, but then I also prayed for the spouse, that they would be the spouse that they would attract. Mm-hmm. So I was very specific. No, I don't want perfect children. Didn't get them. No, I didn't want a perfect spouse. And I often say Nick is not perfect, but he is perfect for me because he is what I asked God for.
Far from perfect.
But I was very specific. Also, when we were praying for the land to build our house and what we wanted our house to look like and so on and so forth, so much so that we wrote our actual floor plans for the house. Because we couldn't find a floor plan that we just fell in love with as it was. So we just kind of took from a whole bunch and kind of had someone design it and write it up for us.
Yep. And one of the things we wanted in the house was a she shed, a lady den.
A lady
and
den.
Actually, we're going to probably show that a little bit later on in another video.
Yeah, we got a video planning that we're going to show my lady den. But you have a man cave, so to speak, a media room, or
yeah, I do.
You have that. So.
Yeah. So
it's not all about me, guys.
See, there you go. Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, but just keeping in mind, you have not because you ask not.
Right.
So ask for it. God is faithful; He'll give you the desires of your heart. So, what attributes did you think about in your spouse? Was it a potential? Help me say what I'm trying to say.
Potential.
Yes. How about? I think I say possible.
Okay.
Or was it? No, but was it possible?
Probable.
What stuff do you want in them? I can't say. What stuff do you want in them? What did you want in them? Put those things down in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to read those and comment on those. Also, what things did you put down that you couldn't believe would actually be you could find in the person that you found? Are you still looking for that person?
Yeah.
Is this access that you haven't done? You might think there's some value in that. Share that as well.
And let me just say this. I think, too, even after you have your spouse, your person, I think it's important to journal your prayers and the things that you want to maybe change about that person. Not necessarily change about that person, but you want them to improve on. Mm-hmm. And write down some things you want to improve on in yourself also. I often tell our son that until you're no longer here, you will always be working on yourself because no one is perfect. And so that's why I felt that it was important for me to ask God specifically for what I wanted, but also be that person that I've asked God for.
Yeah, that's true. So definitely thank you all for watching this video. Also, we need to do a subscriber shout out. I didn't say that at the top, so we need to do a shout out. My shout out is to Freespur. So we thank Freespur for his love and his comments down in the comment section all the time. He's a faithful viewer, so we thank him for that. We're putting a link to his channel down below. He has some really interesting things there. So thank you, Freespur. And also, we want to ask you all, if you have not, that you would like, share, and subscribe. Links to Freespur's channel, Adinah's book, which is over her left shoulder, would probably be your right. I'm thinking, but it is her left shoulder. A link to that is to purchase is down in chat. Also, and remember, as always, take care of yourself. Keep loving one another.